Unwanted change. Ah, it's crazy, right? I mean, by very definition, the change is unwanted. It's not something that we invited into our lives, and yet, oh, here it is. And now we got to deal with it. For better or for worse, we've got to deal with it. You know, it doesn't make any difference what it is. Maybe you lost your job, maybe it's your career. And for whatever reason, it just went south and it ain't there anymore. Maybe like me, you've lost a loved one. For me, it was my wife of 58 and a half, virtually 58 and a half years. I mean, talk about an unwanted change that is crazy. There you have it. Or maybe it's your finances have just been turned over. Maybe before COVID, you had been working on a business and you had a whole plan together and got so excited and got the money together, launched your business, and then you have just seen it slowly but surely disintegrate. And now here you are with nothing, saying, wait a minute, this is not what I wanted. This is certainly not what I expected. Now what in the world do I do? How do we find contentment in the midst of craziness? I got to tell you what, I am working on that right now. I am on that journey of change post death. You know, there is an expert who talks about this, who says that you and I and everybody else will experience 5 to 7 or 8 or more what he calls life quakes, of course, across the course of our lives. Certainly having the business blow up would be a life quake. Certainly losing a spouse would be a life quake. And the question is, so what are you going to do with that? Well, I have some thoughts that I think you will find helpful. And by the way, this is no, just theory out there. This is street level reality. It's stuff that I'm working on myself every single day. And I want to give you 4 things to try that I hope will help to bring you some contentment in the crazy of your life. Now, before we get there, please do me a favor. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure and share this with a friend who is going through one of these life quakes themselves or has got some big change that they're struggling with, because we're not going to just talk about that on this change channel. We're talking about all kinds of things. But right now, we're talking about the biggies. And you can hit the notification bell so you'll get notified every time one of these videos comes up, and I'm hoping to be doing them quite regularly now. And finally, comment. That's what helps us know where each other is and be able to encouraging one another along the way. We can do this together so much better. All right. With all that in mind, what are 4 keys to unlock contentment in the midst of crazy in your life? The first one is very simple, really. Start ordering your disorder. Start ordering your disorder. Start putting order into your disorder. For me, when Betty moved on to that next stage in her life, I felt like the entire foundation of my life had collapsed and I was in free fall, absolute and total free fall. And that's how we feel when our finances give out, or, somebody leaves us, or. You feel like you're just adrift. Well, one of the ways to help with that is to bring order into that disorder. Something as simple as scheduling the downtimes of your life. Now, you may be a person, unlike me, who still has a job and you're still working every day. And so even though you've got this giant thing hanging over you. You've got to deal with your 8 to 5. But then there's all the rest of the time. What do? Schedule it. That's it. Schedule it. For me, every day is Saturday, right? So I was, in the beginning, just numb. I don't know how else to say it, just numb. And sometimes these life quakes do that to us. You just kind of, whoa, you're just reeling in this fog. And so I needed to start scheduling. Okay, tomorrow, and I'm writing this down, I'm going to clean the gutter. And I think I'm going to give it a try also to prune these shrubs. 2 things in that one day, as well as whatever else I would do. And the next day, I'm writing down, I'm going to mow the lawn, I'm going to edge the lawn. So I'm getting specific things, and that's just a couple things. And yes, I actually put them on a schedule, a calendar. You know, every loss is different. Every big change is different. But the same concept applies. Create a schedule. Whatever that schedule happens to be. Let's say your downtimes are in the evening and you don't want them to just float away with scrolling on Instagram or whatever. That's not going to help you to grow and get stronger. So create a schedule. Make a list of projects, of meaningful things that you'd like to do, and then start doing them, knocking them off one by one by one by one. But it needs to be something that you're drawn to. If it's something you hate, I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to go there. Create and participate in social engagements. You know, just this afternoon, I invited a friend over, and it was the first of what is going to become a very regular meeting of guys who have lost their spouses. And we need each other. And so, hey, let's get together. And so we did, and we had a wonderful time together. 2 other guys are joining in next week, and so on. So, you know, participate in social engagement. Many times when we get broadsided, we pull back, we withdraw. And yet it's that social involvement that can help us so much. And develop new friends, you know, develop things in your life that bring you joy. So start ordering your disorder, number 1. Number 2, make this a time of growth. Try new things. Take classes. You know, take them online. Take a program, a course, whatever, to do it in person. You know, for me, for instance, and let's take YouTube as a case in point, I signed up on this big program to learn a lot of stuff about YouTube and things I just don't know anything about. I'm going to have to learn about one of these days. Video editing, I don't know anything about it. It's scary, but so what? You see, that learning grows new synapses in my brain, build new skills. I remember watching a YouTube of a guy. His YouTube channel is called Ooby and Dooby. And he was an MIT trained, originally undergraduate school, and I can't remember where he went to med school, but ultimately he became a neurosurgeon. And that is years and years and years and years of education. And he was practicing for, I think, 8 or 9 years as a neurosurgeon, and he was growing more and more disenchanted. He said, I'm not really helping people. Yes, I'm lying to people in some cases. And finally, he just quit. He just quit, walked away. What's he doing today? He's making YouTube, making YouTube videos about de-stressing your life, and he's taking you along on hikes. He's Ooby and his dog's Dooby, and they hike along by rivers and, you know, get in places that are just sort of calm your heart and mind. How cool is that? Read or listen, or however you grow, discuss with people the things that you are learning, but by all means, make this a time of growth. Third, look for cues for what your next step is going to be for the future. For me, every single day, I pray, Lord, show me exactly what you want me to do. In the days that are before me, show me how you want me to invest my life. What is the best impact that I can make? You know, I know God has built me in particular ways. He's given me particular skills and desires and passions and all that kind of stuff. So Lord, where's the place where I can put these to work to benefit you, to bless you. And I need to look for what's your heart telling you to do? What puts a big smile on your face? What brings you fulfillment so you do it? I love this. And joy, where you just get in the zone and you're lost in doing it. Maybe it's writing. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is, whatever it is. Look for clues for your future, where that's going to take you. So you're not focused on that loss. You're focused on that future. And the fourth thing is build the new you on the foundation of joy. Now, for me, my perspective is to be found in the Bible. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Jesus tells this great story about two builders. One of them built a house on a foundation of sand. The other one built a house on a foundation of rock. And when the storms came, guess what house got flattened? Oh, the foolish man built his house upon the sand. The one that was built on sand crashed because it had a lousy foundation. If you build your life on sorrow and regret and anger and I coulda, I woulda, I shoulda, mourning and grief, and that's the center of your life, you're building on sand. It's not going to work well. No. Instead of that, you need to build on joy. And especially the joy that you find in the midst of pain. I think about people like Viktor Frankl. You know, Viktor Frankl was a very famous psychiatrist who was a prisoner of war in the Second World War, was in a concentration camp. His entire family, extended family, was murdered, was exterminated. And yet somehow Frankl found joy in that camp. How did he do it? He forced himself to find joy in the midst of pain, so that every day he would focus on the same tree and see just the little changes it would make in the seasons of the year. He would focus on the book that he was going to write and so forth. Man's Search of Meaning. That was not the book. He actually wrote one before that had everything to do with joy. Joy out of pain. You know, for the joy that was before him, Jesus endured the cross, despising the shame, you know. He saw the joy that was ahead. Yes, he would go through pain, but the focus was on joy. And that's what we need to build our lives on, joy. Maybe the greatest joy is to be expressed through pain, like the pearl that has grown through the irritants and the pressure. So in our lives. So build the new you on the foundation of joy. Big changes, unwanted changes, they are going to drive us crazy. But you know what? In the midst of crazy, we can find contentment. Let's move forward 1 millimeter at a time, not even a step, 1 millimeter in time. And ultimately, we're going to get where we want to go. More about this next time.